This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon Eek! The Cat. Joel.
Yes, Andrew.
At the limited research I did, I thought for sure that Eek the Cat would have came from a comic book or of Sunday Funnies or something.
It had that feeling. I think maybe it's because it's a cat, so I automatically think of like Garfield.
You think of Garfield, but turns out it didn't. But
Nope.
Before we get into that, and before we get into review that theme songs, because we got 3 to do, this is a Patreon exclusive mega request. Well, it's not exclusive to Patreon, but that's how it got to the top of the thing. Our hiatus is over, by the way.
Yes. I got nothing else to add to that.
Yep. The shout out. So this comes from our friend Steve. Oh shit! I forgot his name. Hold on.
These nuts.
I got his username right in front of me, but I don't remember what his actual name is. But we do care about our Patreon people.
We do.
I swear. Just not in any way that's like it matters, I guess. Okay. I think is it Seth? Anyway, you know what? I'm just gonna go with your Discord name, and then everybody add him on Discord, or don't. I don't know how he feels about it. Anyway, Volcano90. The shout out is for my 17-year-old dog, Miko. So Miko, come here. Hold your phone up to Miko. Hey, Miko.
Who's a good dog?
Who's an old guy? Who's an old guy? Who's a funny old guy? Good dog. Didn't say their gender. Anyway, he also, I believe it's actually Seth, because he's usually the one who names the reoccurring segment of the shows that he requests. So
he's got
let's hope
one
it's
for
him.
us.
Yeah, he does. And we will say it later in the episode. Stay tuned to find it out. But Joel, as I said earlier, we have theme songs to play. So let's just run through all 3.
Okay.
And then we'll review them as need be.
We'll shotgun them. We'll do a space guitars. I'll edit all 3 of them on top of each other and play it like that.
That would be hilarious. Don't do that.
All right. Here is the first one from just Eek the Cat. I love.
Phew.
All right.
There's one.
Next up, the terrible Thunder Lizards.
We to catch the 2 humans. They're gonna make a day. Here comes Doc, Squad, and Cutter. You best get out of their way. They're terrible Thunder Lizards. They're terrible Thunder Lizards.
All right. And last up, Clutto.
For those of you who might not remember Clutter, it's because he's in the 4th season.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, we'll talk about Clutter.
All right, so Eek the Cat, I give about a 7. The Terrible Thunder Lizards, I give about a 6. And then Clutter's about a 5.
So
Nothing's really blowing me away.
Eek gets a 5. The Terrible Thunder Lizards gets a 7. And Clutter gets a 5.
What made you rate the Terrible Thunder Lizards so high?
It sounded like, what was that one song? It sounded like Alice in Chains, Man in a Box. Man in a Box.
It does sound like Man in a Box. That's awesome.
It just made me, I don't know, like it just took me back to all those moments in the 90s, just hearing that type of music being played.
I got you.
But yeah.
So, Joel, tell us about Eek the Cat. How did he get made? And subsequently, the Terrible Thunder Lizards and Clutter.
All right, so Eek the Cat is, of course, a cartoon that was created by Savage Steve Holland and Bill Kopp. Aired on Fox Kids back in 1992, Andrew, and ran
Nice.
for 5 seasons, 75 episodes. It's ended in 1997, and the quick and dirty reason that this happened is just because Savage Steve Holland, he was working in films, but ultimately wanted to get back to his roots in animation, and pitched an idea to Fox Kids, Eek the Cats, and got a show made.
The funniest thing I read is that the overall theme for Eek the Cat is based off of his disdain for shows like Leave It to Beaver, where characters do the right thing and get rewarded for it, and that's why Eek, everything he does causes him immense pain. Like, no matter what good deed he does, he always gets like maimed.
Yeah, he's got 9 lives, you know.
They really it reminds me of like the Rube Goldberg machine of how Eek gets hurt.
Yep.
It like reminds me of like segments of Super Jail back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Because he's just like, it's like a good 4 minutes of him just pinballing through just various things that cause him immense amounts of pain.
So I did read that he said the original idea for Eek the Cat came from his experience of being a cat owner, and he had a cat named Eek.
Did his cat just get hurt all the time?
I don't know. So I've had a lot of cats as a kid.
Yeah, same.
And the cats that really stand out are either the cats that, for whatever reason, just get into a bunch of shenanigans and get hurt constantly,
That's true.
or the cats that get into shenanigans and somehow don't get hurt.
Yeah.
But they're always getting into shenanigans. They'll always.
I mean, the cat that I remember the most is the one that you brought up that was blue, that was so fat he got tired when he would cross your lap. He'd go, oh.
And just lay on you and drool. He was the fattest cat ever.
I've never heard of a cat. I've heard of a fat cat, but I've never heard of a cat so fat that it fatty grunts.
Yeah. This cat was huge, guys.
Oh,
He probably weighed 30 pounds easy.
so tired.
Dude, that cat lived for like 17 years, though.
I feel like, I mean, a cat's circulatory system must be studied, because if that gelatinous cat lived for 17 years. Same with my cat Snowshoes. Snowshoes is not as fat as
Blue.
the legendary
No,
Blue,
no.
but she does nothing all day. There's zero health problems.
Something
In
about
fact, my
cats.
more active cat, Samhain, he has health problems. Like nothing serious, but he's one of those cats that get a lot of bladder crystals.
Yeah.
I used to call them dick crystals.
Dick.
But then I accidentally said it in front of the vet, and they looked at me, and I was like, bladder crystals.
Sorry, Doc.
So it turns out that veterinarians don't have the same sense of humor as me.
Lighten up, guys. Come on.
Come on. And I mean, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. And really from there, the spin-offs that this show got, which it's hard to call them spin-offs because they basically just started as like little mini segments within each.
They were the Terrible Thunder Lizards. I know that was supposed to be its own thing.
It was. Yeah.
But it didn't catch on
No.
or something like that. It was like you know how The Office tried to do the spinoff
With Dwight.
the
Yep.
farm. So it's like the season 2 is when they introduced the Terrible Thunder Lizards, and
I've
you know, the first episode of season 2 is just them.
Yep.
And then I felt like, okay, they're going to use that time slot, and they're like, but maybe that it just didn't catch on too well.
I got the best example. It's you remember like was it Super Monkey from Dexter's?
Oh, Dial M for Monkey.
Yeah, Dial M
that
for
was
Monkey.
supposed to be its own segment.
What was the one with like the 3 fantasy warriors? Like you had the
The Justice Friends.
The Justice
They were living in their own apartment. I remember that one because that was, for some reason, they added a laugh track to that one.
yeah, that one was weird.
I guess they were trying to make fun of the old Scooby Doo's that also had a laugh track in them. Do you remember those?
No, I don't.
They were like those weird episodes of like 70s Scooby Doo where they just had a laugh track in them, but it like didn't line up with anything funny. At least not with the humor of when I was watching. I was like, why are they randomly laughing in Scooby Doo?
I think about the Always Sunny episode, the old woman's house.
Yeah, where they had. I love the laugh track because it lets me know when I have to laugh.
But really, that was it. So there is one interesting tidbit, especially around all 3 of these. Eek the cat, whatever you want to say about him, hey, he was popular enough to last 5 seasons. Savage, he was behind the Terrible Thunder Lizards. But with Clutto, that one was actually created by David Silverman.
Yeah.
So they brought in someone different. But all these shows are at best.
Yeah, they're very average.
Yeah.
I remember actually the only thing I remembered from Eek is before we went back and watched it was I really liked the design of Sharky, Annabelle's dog. Other than that,
I never really
it didn't bother.
I never watched Eek the cat growing up. I actually
I don't
vaguely
remember a lot of people who really did watch Fox Kids, and I think that's why
yeah.
it's not there anymore.
Could be.
Well, that and streaming services.
Well, that too, yeah. But I remember.
But before that happened,
Look, Fox Kids, Pokemon was.
that was WB.
Yeah, that's right. That's not even Fox. Well, never
didn't
mind.
have anything.
No. Fox.
Yeah.
Fox tried. Was Fox the ones with fighting food-ons? Maybe I.
Yes, Fox was the one. Fox Kids is kind of like the Tubi of the past. Like most of our shit comes from Fox Kids. Like it's just like Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they had fighting food-ons, and then because WB had Pokemon,
Yeah.
because that's what took out Animaniacs, and then they were like, well, everybody's
right.
got to get a Pokemon, and they got fighting food-ons.
Every kid's gonna want a food on.
You know what? If they made a cooking mama style fighting food-ons where you cook the food on and then you battle with it, and how well you do at the food on mini games is how strong the character is, I bet you they could have some. Where's the intellectual rights to fighting food-ons? I could make this happen.
Actually, Fox Kids, I think their original answer to Pokemon was Digimon.
Oh, they did have Digimon
They did.
first. I always thought that was someone else.
Yeah, Digimon.
Digimon is a better anime than
100%.
Pokemon, but Pokemon is a better game.
100%. Digimon was a far superior television show. It was more entertaining, but the games never made it over here. I've
And
never.
the card games, the Digimon card game is weird and confusing, and it might have been I was just a stupid child, but
Dude,
I was just like,
I
I
thought
barely know how to play the Pokemon card game.
I was about to say, I thought the Pokemon card game was confusing when I was a kid.
But we're not. Why are we sidetracked so much? We should probably move to the voice cast, right?
Yes, hit us with the voice cast, Andrew.
So this is one of those shows where one person voices like a million people.
Save that
But-
money.
Bill Kopp is Eek the Cat, Daisy, Cutter Pierre, Elmo Elvis,
What a name.
and Skyhawk 1.
All right.
Savage Steve Holland is Doc Terra, Elmo the Elk. Oh, and Wade Deep and Wade Heap.
Okay.
Charlie Adler is Bill, JB, Granny, Biff, Dr. Steggy, Jasper, Professor Wiggly, Spat, and a Barney parody character. Dan Castellaneta is Mittens, Bill, Hank, Area 51 employee, so on and so forth. Elizabeth Daly is Wendy Elizabeth, Cozy Dolores, and Wendy Elizabeth. Tawny Katan is Annabelle. Cam Clark is Puffy, Was. Daredevil, another Elvis, Penguin, Reindeer, Ryan Heap, and the TV announcer. This is all also between Thunder Lizards, Clutter,
Godly.
and Eek the Cat. They have credits all over the place. And finally, Brad Garrett is Thuggo, an alien, cat litter guy, and a dog catcher.
Do the dog catcher. Dog catcher.
For their other works, we have Bill Kopp was a writer on Mad Jack the Pirate.
Ooh.
Savage Steve Holland was a director on The New Adventures of Beans Baxter.
All right.
He's also the director of Big Time Rush.
Ooh. He did a lot. He did a lot of stuff for Nickelodeon later on in his life.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not like Dan Schneider.
He worked on a lot of those projects.
Yeah, but is he like him? Because a lot of them were like, I had no idea.
I don't know.
God, I hope he doesn't hear us and email me like that one guy did when we covered, what was that one caveman cartoon we covered?
I can't remember the name.
Long Hair and Double Dome.
That's it.
And then he emailed me about it because we fucked up his last name. Charlie Adler is Buster Bunny in Tiny Toon Adventures. Dan Castellaneta, he's Homer. We all know he's Homer. He's Homer Simpson.
Wait, he's Homer?
All of his other roles don't matter. Sorry, Dan. It's true. Elizabeth Daly is Dottie in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
Tawny Katan is Debbie Thompson in the movie Bachelor Party. Cam Clark is Freddy the Ferret in Barnyard, the series, not the movie.
All right.
And finally, Brad Garrett is bloat in Finding Nemo.
Okay.
So, okay, I want to talk about how in the 90s, you could just have a character that the whole joke is, they're fat.
Yeah.
It's just, like you could, it's just
That-
like
that was
that's
just a
all.
joke.
That's all Annabelle's joke is that she's a very fat woman, but Eek loves her.
She's
And
a fat
everybody's
cat.
like,
What are you talking?
she is a
She's
fat
like
cat,
Blue.
a fat cat with like super strength too.
Yeah.
'Cause she's like incredibly strong. But it's so funny to me that it's like that's the whole joke is that people are just like, Eek, how could you love her? She's fat, and I'm like, that's it. That's all it took to be like, that's so funny that he loves that disgusting fat slob of a cat.
That's all you needed back in the 90s, man, was that.
I mean, kinda.
Uh,
It's just like, but yeah, they really fuck Eek up in this show, don't they?
dude, it's
This is some good 90s slapstick. I'll tell you that. I mean, it is average. Also, we haven't had one of these since Rover Dangerfield, but weird animal with a belly button.
yeah, true. I didn't even think about that.
It's so weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah, that's a scratcher. That's
It's only since Rover Dangerfield because he's the only other one that had a belly button. Since dogs don't have umbilical cords.
I thought they did. They're mammals.
They're mammals, but they just kind of all slide out. Then why do we have to cut ours? Scientists, tell me why.
I think
I'm
it's
not
just
Googling
nature.
it.
I think it's one of those things,
Okay.
you know. Because I remember we would have kittens who would have like a umbilical cord, but it's like it just falls off, just rots off and dies.
Okay.
So
Well, I refuse to Google it, and then I will be corrected on various social media platforms if I'm wrong.
that's how it should be.
Like a true goddamn man.
Yeah. I did. So this show is there's a lot of moments in this show where I guess whatever is happening to Eek, it can be pretty funny.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of this show is I feel like they just throw a lot at you.
Yeah, it's
I mean, there are so many side characters like the Squishy Bears, a Granny Steven, Piggy the Penguin, Hank and Jib, Platinum. And then you have the other shows a part of, like the Terrible Thunder Lizards. They have their own thing, and then Clutter has its own thing. It's just a lot going on.
no like
But yeah,
the fact that they tried leveraging this show to make 2 additional shows does just make it feel more all over the place than their
Yeah.
original cartoon. And their original cartoon just feels like it's just so random. It's just kind of
yeah, it is very random.
I feel like I'm not saying I get it as a kid's show. You don't have to have like a very complex story to it. But it's so random.
I think it's not okay. I have a little bit of a disagreement. I think it's not actually random in the sense, and now random things do happen, but I think it's written around how can we hurt this cat?
Oh yeah. It's
And,
gotta
like,
be.
and because they were so against him learning a lesson or being rewarded for doing the right thing, they didn't have to cap the episode. In fact, most of the time, the episodes end with Eek being hurt in a way that's like, okay, we can fade to black on this one.
Yeah.
Really, the lesson of Eek the cat is don't do anything or you'll get fucking obliterated.
Become the fat cat. Just sit at home, eat, be happy.
Well, the fat cat was the one who was always asking Eek to do stuff.
Well,
So ask somebody to do something and watch them get hurt, not the other way around.
exactly. Delegation.
There you go. So, and then we can move on to the Terrible Thunder Lizards. So it's weird. Speaking of long hair and Double Dome, this made me think of them because it was the two cavemen that they're trying to assassinate. They're not giving me long hair and Double Dome vibes. It's just because it's two dudes that are cavemen.
Yeah, two cavemen. That's it.
I do. There was one episode I watched that was pretty funny. So they find fire, and one of them is like, I invented something to use for this, and he brings out a washing machine that he carved out of stone. He goes, "This is a washing machine. We use fire to wash our clothes." There's always one trying to invent something, and the other one is just trying to get away from him.
Yeah,
because they're the only two cavemen, and the reason that the dinosaurs want to get rid of them is because their scientists have been like, if we allow them to populate, they will destroy everything we hold dear.
Yep.
Also, I didn't remember this until I watched it. The thunder lizards are prisoners of the worst kind.
Really? I did not.
Yeah, they have to go to jail to get them because they are the worst dinosaurs, and their crimes are indescribably inhumane.
To dinosaurs.
To dinosaur kind.
What was that? You didn't eat something? You didn't eat the thing you killed? What's the worst thing that a dinosaur could do?
I don't know. Because you can eat another dinosaur.
I know.
But their names are funny. There's Doctera, the pterodactyl. Daisy Cutter, the Triceratops, and Bo Diddley Squat, the Brontosaurus. Also, the Bill and Scooter are the cavemen names.
I feel like they was just like, all right, the Doctera?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this one is like a play on words, but I feel like they kind of just...
Or no, he's a... I thought he was a pterodactyl. According to this article, he is a... Parasaurolophus. Fuck, I fucked that up.
Is that one that flies?
It is not.
Oh, well.
But it's got one of them weird heads.
That one. Okay. I know the one you're talking about now. All right, well.
But anyway.
Never mind then.
What?
I'm glad to see that.
The Triceratops one isn't even a Triceratops. He's a... Somebody edited this Wikipedia article full of corrections because I don't think that this is true. A Starchiosaurus? That ain't a fucking real dinosaur. Fuck you. Actually, no. Now that I'm looking at it.
It could be like a subspecies of a Triceratops.
Could be, yeah. I do know that Bo Diddley Squat was voiced by Corey Feldman, so... At 1996 to 1997.
Oh, good old Corey
That was
Feldman.
probably before he got molested to the point he was crazy.
Oh no, that was always what he was a star from the 80s, right?
Oh yeah, shit, that's already happened.
Yep. This is before he.
A little sidebar about that. That is one of the saddest, fame stories I've seen happen to a human being. Like I know that what I said sounded like a joke, but that is kind of what happened to him.
Happens to a lot of those people. Drew Barrymore, all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who worked for Dan Schneider.
Hey, that's what you get when you chase fame.
I guess.
I need
price too high for me.
I know.
I'm hoping if we ever make it into the podcast game, we don't have to
sell our soul.
I don't know. Give Joe Rogan a hand job. I don't even know who's in charge of podcasting. Fame. How do you make it?
Listeners get enough.
I guess. Oh, okay.
It's our
so
audience.
We're good then. We'll never get that far.
Dude, we're gonna have to jack off all of our listeners.
Oh wow.
No.
That's a lot. Well, actually, that's not too
not too bad now. But what if we got up there?
Yeah, what if we got up there?
We're gonna have to outsource that job.
What Patreon tier are we allowed to put where we'll go door to door and jack you off?
No, you only get that on our OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Well, OnlyFans is just videos. I mean, if you pay us enough a month, you know what? No. I retract that statement. There's no amount of money that's going to get me to get on a plane or drive, depending on the distance, to go jack off a stranger that listens to me talk about cartoons.
Hey, thanks for your $5 sub. Where you want to do
Thanks
this?
for your $5. I hope you fucking got. It's like, oh, you don't have soap. You gotta go to the store today. Cool. I'll just rinse off my hands. You fucking degenerate. And don't think I didn't notice those My Little Pony fucking statues on my way in. You're not who I want in my fan base.
Get out!
Get out of here. All right, so
What did you even want to talk about Clutter? Clutter is
it's a fucking pile of clothes that came to life, and
What-
it's voiced by Jim Cummings, and they get into weird kid-friendly shenanigans.
What the
What
hell
is there to talk about?
was they thinking with that idea? Hey, what if this pile of clothes came to life?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's nothing. There is nothing to this. I think it was supposed to be like a good palate cleanser from all the violence and destruction of the thunder lizards in Eek. And you're like, oh, this cute little kid thingy.
If that is what they
No.
was aiming for, it missed the mark.
Oh, yeah, it
completely.
missed. It was, yeah. But, I mean, this is like the last season. It's
Yeah.
when they rename it to Eekstravaganza,
Oh yeah.
which really churching up that title a lot. But, yeah, so you got 3 shows going on at once in season 4, and then it's just... Oh, before we get to the new reoccurring segment, it is worth noting that Eek had a video game for the Super NES, and Time Extension listed Eek the Cat as one of the worst Super Nintendo games ever made.
I am not surprised.
Now, so now it is time for your new reoccurring segment, reviews that are kumbaya and reviews that are terrible thunder lizards.
Oh, I like it, Andrew.
Thanks. I worked real hard reading that.
So I am just gonna do the review for Eek the Cat because I
Oh
can't.
yeah, we're not doing the other
I
ones.
couldn't
That's
find
crazy.
them. I couldn't find them
Yeah,
because they're
who
all part
would?
of this show.
They're all part of the show.
Exactly.
So if you find a review that mentioned all 3,
What?
that would be the most impressive thing we would have ever done on this show.
I'm not gonna find that review because it is slim pickings in the review category. It is sitting at a 7.10, a 7.10, an 8, a 7.2 out of 10 with a 3,400 ratings.
Not bad.
No, there's no 1-star reviews, but there is a single 10-star review for Eek the Cat titled "Fresh and Have Stood Well with the Time Test." Very funny cartoon, full of content. I am a younger guy and proud of watching content. People over 34 years old at the time worked forward to make a nicely made tunes mix that is a part of many wonderful childhoods, including mine if I saw it back then. Though as an adult, I assure I see almost all the episodes. Disney Plus, please stream it. Thunder Lizards and others are worth a watch too. Clearly, English is not this man's first language.
Others includes Clutter, which is false. Of being series worth watching.
I can't even tell people, hey, you should go rewatch this.
Yeah, but also this goes to my favorite pastime. If you really want to watch Eek the Cat, you should harass a corporation, which is always a noble cause, no matter what the goal. So if you want to watch Eek the Cat on Disney Plus, you know what to do.
I like to think that there's one guy working at Disney that, you know, they have an email that they're just like, any of these people send in like, hey, you should put this up. We're not looking at it. Just send it to this one guy so he can send a response. And he is just like, I am sick and tired of Eek the cat.
It's like that one episode of South Park where they have to deal with the insurance company, and then like it's all like futuristic when they walk in.
Yeah.
So that's when you walk into Disney. They're like, oh, we have like we would like to request Eek the Cat. I was like, oh, you'd like to request a cartoon? Follow us this way. And that's when you see like the guy covered in like files and stuff, and he's still got like a fax machine.
Yeah.
So, one little fun fact before we close this up, Gene Wilder, John Lovitz, and Steve Martin were considered for the voice of Eek. Eventually, the role went to co-creator Bill Kopp, who used the voice he and his siblings had come up with for one of their cats.
Aw.
I would assume that Gene Wilder, John Lovitz, Steve... I also don't think that this little fun fact is true. That's kind of why I wanted to say it. But I would imagine that they would cost way too much money for this Fox Kids TV show.
I like to think it was just Savage and Bill. They was just like, wouldn't it be awesome if we got like Gene Wilder? Like
Gene
that's
Wilder.
what it was.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I believe that wraps up Eek the Cat. Joel, closing thoughts?
Don't watch it. Save your time.
I say it's pretty easy to find on YouTube if you truly want to watch it.
If you want to put it on in the background while you like clean or something like that, I feel like that's where this series belongs.
If you really want to see a cat get hurt, by God, this is the show for you, because that's like over 50% of the animation is just watching him fly through the air.
It's literally
through
how many
different
ways can we
explosions.
kill this character?
Yeah, how many ways can you fuck up a cat, the cartoon?
Yep.
At a certain point, when you binge it, you're like, this is kind of mean after a while. Also, they considered Eek to be pink, but they changed it purple at the last minute. That was a good design choice.
Yeah, might have conflicted with another well-known, pink cat out there.
Oh, yeah, pink, big cat,
Yep.
Pink Panther.
Yep.
Well, if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier. We send stickers and pins right to your door. We have bonus episodes and episodes with extended audio and access to our Discord, even if you choose the free tier. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can request an episode or go to our store and get some merch. I still haven't gotten a sample of the Peaked in the 90s shirt, but when it does, I will post that on the socials, but I'm feeling like it's going to be killer. We have a Twitter. Turns out it's funnier to call it Twitter because Elon Musk gets all mad, so I'm going to go back to calling it Twitter.
I've never stopped calling it Twitter. I'm not going to call it X. That's dumb.
Yeah.
X.
So we have a Twitter. It's CartoonDD. We also have a Blue Sky, which is leftist Twitter. It is also CartoonDD. I wonder if we could get, what was the one? Parler? Wasn't that right-wing Twitter?
Wouldn't that just be Trump's social media platform?
Oh,
Truth?
yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't think I could bring myself to start a social media on Trump's.
Just do it.
Trumper. Whatever.
Leave me a Trumper, please.
We're Cartoon Dumpster Dive on all other social media platforms. And as always, we appreciate the 5-star review from the podcast platform of your choice. And answering Spotify questions, this, that, and the other. Have a great rest of your week. Eek!
See ya.
A big old fart. A big old fart.
Okay, I'm back.
This has been a Lugho podcast.